anyway,
Don't
on
wanna
to
be
the
Last of
news.
Us.
So, not a ton going on in the news, but the Video Game Awards were this week.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch it?
I did not.
Oh, really?
I actually did not.
I watched it live. It was pretty fun.
Did you?
Yeah, I live tweeted it.
Okay, so first up, Game of the Year. You did live tweet it, and you live Facebooked it, and you live everything. I did see that. Witcher 3 won Game of the Year. What do you think about that? Do you think it
I think
deserved
that's fine. I think...
Have you played Witcher 3?
No, I played Witcher 2, and that's the reason why I didn't play Witcher 3. Because it's a good game.
No, it's not a
just
good game. It's
so-
a good hobby.
It's so freaking hard, man.
Yeah.
It's insane. And plus, at the time, Metal Gear Solid was out. So it's like I picked my open world game of
I
choice.
feel like it had some pretty stiff competition, and it makes you wonder if
I have a theory.
is your theory that there was no DRM and that the developers gave everything out for free with no DLC? And it was a developer, is more like them voting for the developer than it was the game.
No. Although that's a fine theory. I mean, giving them an award for both putting out a good game and also being good people, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I think what a lot of the Game Awards does is it's less of a critical decision, and I think it's more of like, let's give nods to all these different companies and all these different people that made great games. So it's like, well, maybe there's a game that could have won multiple categories, but there's also a game in one of the categories that the game that should have won has already won another award. They might give it to the second choice just to give them the nod. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I see some of this happening a little bit. What I do see, I personally think Metal Gear probably deserved the win, but because of the stupid drama behind the scenes and not having,
Which we're going to get to.
Kojima there, I think that probably might have been, as much as The Witcher probably deserves it. I have a feeling, based on reading a lot of other reviews and what other sites have given these games, I think Metal Gear probably deserved it more than Witcher, and they didn't give it to it because of those reasons.
Because Metal Gear had won enough. And
Well, maybe that, but no, I think it's because Konami and Kojima are having this big fight, and they didn't want to give the award to Konami. They want to give the award to Kojima because he's the one that deserves it, not this shitty company who's doing all this terrible stuff behind the scenes.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? They want to give it to the man, and that's also why, instead of calling it, what is it, Konami LA or whatever it is, they explicitly were saying Kojima Productions.
Whoa.
The entire time. You
that's
know what I mean?
a big FU.
The entire show was a big FU to Konami.
Good.
I mean,
for what we know, for all we know, Kojima was a big asshole to them.
Yeah, for
And-
sure. We don't know until whenever his non-compete ends some point this month.
Yeah. So before we get to that, who else was up for Game of the Year?
Oh, it was Metal Gear. It was
Fallout up for it?
Fallout should have been up for it. What were the? Let me pull it up here.
Taken King, maybe.
Well, maybe. I don't know if the Taken King would have been up for it. Let's see here. All right, pulling up. Game of the Year nominees. All right, it was Bloodborne. Okay, that makes sense. Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, Super Mario Maker, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So that makes sense. I think it's clearly between. I think the clear top three would have been Fallout 4, Metal Gear, and The Witcher.
Yeah.
I think Mario Maker, while a great game and a really cool experience, it's a hard and a a testament to game engineering.
Halo
really.
5 not on that list.
No, for probably Bloodborne though. Great, really cool. And also
interesting to see a game like that.
two
up there.
exclusives. Obviously Super Mario Maker exclusive to Nintendo, Bloodborne exclusive to PlayStation. Really cool. So
anyway, let's move on to the next news article. Hideo Kojima was legally banned. Was that right? From showing up to the Video Game Awards?
Let me see if I can pull up the exact quote.
Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with who Kojima is, he is the backbone of Metal Gear Solid. He is a amazing game designer. He's directed how many of the Metal Gears?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been involved from the start. There was still two or three Metal Gears that he wasn't involved in. It was Metal Gear 2 on the NES, and then I think Metal Gear on the Game Boy, Ghost Babel, maybe?
He's one of the most infamous trolls of the video game world, of trolling the player of the game to thinking that, Solid Snake is the main character in Sons of Liberty, or
even in gameplay, he's just a troll.
He does things to gamers that no other game does. But He has left Konami or got kicked out. Nobody really knows quite yet, but he was banned from appearing at the Video Game Awards. Do you have
Yeah,
that
so
pulled up?
the official quote, so Jeff Keighley announced during the awards, he says, as you noticed, Hideo Kojima is not here with us tonight, and I want to tell you a little bit about that. Mr. Kojima had every intention of being with us tonight, but unfortunately he was informed by a lawyer representing Konami just recently that he would not be allowed to travel to tonight's award ceremony to accept any awards. Crowd boos at this point. He's still under an employment contract, and it's disappointing and it's inconceivable to me that an artist like Hideo would not be allowed to come here and celebrate with his peers and his fellow teammates. And then Jeff Keighley also tweeted at that time to Hideo Kojima and said, "Congrats, we miss you, my friend." So definitely big shots fired and a big FU to Konami at that point. It was so apparent that there's a little bit of me that almost feels like, is this a troll from Konami and Kojima? Like, is there something I fully expected? Like, it was so apparent. And then after,
Like he actually did go to the Video Games Award, but
Right.
he was dressed as a woman or something.
like I just figured at the end he was going to make an appearance, because even after Kiefer Sutherland, who voiced Big Boss, came out and he accepted his award, later on after that, one of the other presenters made a comment about, can you imagine Solid Snake being voiced by anybody other than David Hayter? And I was like, oh fuck, shots fired directly at Sutherland, who is there.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. So I was like, everything from the tweet to the statement about David Hayter, I was like, this has got to be a big troll. Like, there's got to be something,
He
right?
is the master troll.
And I was like, okay, either he's coming out at the end, he's going to win. What's going to happen is he's going to get Game
like
of
a
the Year,
massive AR troll
and
now.
he will show up and he'll be the one to get the award, right? And I was like, and that didn't happen, and then the show ended, and I was like, oh. Well, maybe PlayStation Experience. Maybe he'll show up at PlayStation Experience, because this is in LA and PlayStation Experience was in San Francisco. That's not far away. You know, I was like, well, maybe he's there, and then he wasn't there.
Well, there's obviously a big announcement coming for what's going on with him. What is his
maybe
contract?
it's some point in December. All we know is at some point in December.
Everybody's been talking about. He said he's staying in Japan. He said he's staying in the same city as his development. Where he's been this entire time. So maybe, I don't know. It's shrouded in mystery, and it's kind of funny because this could be legitimate. Like, he could have really pissed a lot of people off and just fucked everybody at Konami over and been a big dick about it, and maybe that's actually what's happening. But the fact is, he's such a huge troll that nobody can take anything he says seriously.
Yeah, no, I had a hard time believing some of this stuff because it was so over the top and it was so apparent, and it was so. I kept looking. I'd hop on Twitter and I'd follow everybody that's in the games industry and just be like, what are they saying about this? And everybody was just, following along and playing the game. And I was like, well, maybe this is real.
Yeah.
And it probably is. The problem is like, I guess maybe I'm a little bit of me is a conspiracy theorist. You know what I mean? And like, I'll get sucked into the Reddit hype, because the Reddit was going fucking crazy before this. They were like, oh, there's something huge going to happen with Kojima at the Game Awards. Like, it's huge, right? And I was like, well, Sutherland is already confirmed to be there. Like, maybe, and nothing happened.
That's
I don't know.
Funny. I never even thought about
It's
that.
weird. It's weird.
Thanks for watching this video. If you want to hear more from us, please check out our audio-only podcast, Random Encounter. You can find that on the SaveState.com. Random Encounter dives very deep into gaming culture and the games we've been playing, and gets kind of into gaming a little bit deeper than usual. It's an hour-long podcast. We have a lot to talk about. Please join us there.